All right, salute to everybody who's going to be joining me today. We have to have this conversation. I try to avoid this conversation about Dr. Umar because I don't like to kick a brother when he's down. But the problem that I've had for many years about many men that are panders or many men that pander to Black women, especially in the community, and many of these men that are supposed leaders of community race hustlers type dudes pushing this narrative of victimhood. Not that racism doesn't exist, racism does exist. Racism has been here, racism is going to be here, racism isn't going anywhere. I'm more of the perspective of self empowerment, not that racism doesn't exist. But when on the individual level, if you ask the individual about their life, it is my conclusion that the vast majority of people, modern day individuals, and their outcomes in life, despite the fact that racism exists, has nothing to do with racism. If you individually sat each individual down, that's why I have a problem with collectivist type thinking, collectivist type mentalities. Even the Black community itself is not a monolith. But when you sit individuals down individually and have conversations, 9 times out of 10, their outcomes in life have nothing to do with racism, nothing to do with being Black, nothing to do with being white, nothing to do with being of another race or creed or color. It's usually the individual's actions in the West. There are circumstances, there are situations. Life has its challenges. But when it comes to Black men in the Black community, obviously it's a matriarchal culture. Regardless of what anybody says, the men have been overrun by Black women in partnership with the government. Black women in partnership with the government has overpowered the men in that community, not the women themselves. Women have no power without the enforcement arm of the government. And that was happening in the Black community. But what they do to Black men, Black young men, a lot of Black young men grew up in households, 70% single mother rate. We go back to the late 1950s or 1960, you had a situation where almost 80% of the household had a man in it. Now we at 70%, 75% of the kids born in households without a father leading that household. So systematically, this was created. The women partnered with feminists, got in bed with the government, when obviously there was a target on the back of many Black men in America systematically to keep them down. And systematically, a particular political party has taken over the Black community to extract votes. And it's easier to extract votes when you weaken men. There's been a mission to weaken the Black men, devalue him in the eyes of his woman, weaken the community, and manipulate the women for votes. The women took the bait, hook, line, and sinker. Then we have had all these race hustlers that come about profiting off this environment. The pastors have profited off of it. The race hustlers have profited off of this environment ran by women. They've all made money off the backs of Black women and their own selfish mentality and thirst for power. Umar himself, this has been his mission right there. This is what he does to he's smart, he's clever. He uses these types of images or these types of mentalities. Hold on one second. Let me turn the fan on. There we go. Get some air circulating in here. But this is his mentality. This is the example of why I call it the new plantation. You see, Stella got her groove back. This is to let you know you're in a matriarchal culture. Stella got her groove back. Good. What's it? Katanji Brown. Good. Steve Urkel or Anybody else, anytime the black man exercises individual freedom and his agency, there's a problem. he said, come on, man. He will become a passport bro. I don't even think Africa wants him. I mean, where will he go? Africa has got enough scammers as it is. But the only reason why I talk about this is because I have a problem with this strategic attack on the black male self-esteem. I mean, these young men in houses without their fathers are basically being raised to take care of their mother. The son has husband epidemic. Literally stripping them of their freedom. Literally, these young men are being raised to be son husbands. Could you imagine that? That's called parental kidnapping. It's like, and I'm like a liberator. I want to liberate these young men. I want to liberate black men in general from the slave plantations of the community if they want to be free. Because all we got is these race hustlers, these panda bears, and many of these guys that come on these platforms caping for women. It's not just the profit motive that they have as being panda bears. Many of these dudes have multiple babies in the community with multiple different women, and they want regular guys, black men, like 56% have no kids, or the dudes that are working hard, the solid dudes, to help them take care of these babies that they have with other women. That's why they want you in the community. Oh, let's talk about community. Well, if you're a community, you stop making babies with all these women. Most of these, new pastors and these panda bears, that's what they are, baby makers. Now they want other men to help share in the financial responsibility. That's why they're always shaming men. Look at Umar. He says he loves black women, but he hasn't married any of them. He hasn't put a legal ring on any one of their fingers. Look, I ain't knocking him if he ain't gonna marry him. He hasn't went down to the courthouse and married any of these women. But it's only the men that they try to enslave in this community. Enslave their thoughts, enslave their votes, and enslave their phalluses. Enslave their phalluses, devalue them, disrespect them. Raise the boys to take care of mama. The mother raises the boys to replace the masculine man that's supposed to be present. That's what the black women do to the young black men in the community. They use the young black boys as an insurance policy because they know they can't get along with no man that's worth anything. Any masculine man that's worthwhile. I'm not talking about, not all the sisters. It's an exception. They can't get along with no man. Many of them too masculine, many of them too disrespectful. And no man, you can see them all over the place. Go down to Georgia, anywhere. So many of them are single. They just can't get along with men. So they use the boys as an insurance policy. Look at every NFL thing, whatever. Oh, I got to go take care of my mama. I got to take care of my mama. And even when they're about to do something stupid, on my mama. On my mama. And that's how they've really done a work on the boys, robbing them of their fathers, using them as an insurance policy. Because if you have a son husband, and you have the government to support you with programs and benefits and whatever else, do you really need to have a man other than, they can have sex with a man, a guy come over and pound them out. But you see, they don't really need to have if they have sons, they can just turn them into son husband, emasculate them to a point where they're subservient to women, but keep them dangerous to other men because they're highly emotional and volatile. So they'll attack other men, but they're subservient to women. It's like a new version of men they have created. It's crazy. He said, we'd be surprised if Dr. Umar got another kid from a snow bunny. It wouldn't surprise me, man. But I saw this video and I'm like, yo, obviously we know what happened with the school. But I saw this, hey guys, make sure you hit the like button, okay? Hit the like button. Make sure you guys hit the like button. You guys want to support the channel, hit the Cash App, hit the super chat, support the channel. Keep independent, free independent. I don't belong to any platform. I don't belong to any spares or any association with pills or anything. I'm just a dude making content. Sometimes I am content. Support the channel because I want to give objective information, and many times I am not right. Sometimes I can be defeated with logic, most of the times. So support the channel, support the content, hit the like button. Let's keep it moving. But you have these situations. He said, well, Eric likes us. He said, the problem is when Umar's reputation goes down, the lovely ladies are just going to find another panda bear grifter to tell them what they want to hear. Absolutely. The only downside now is with the economy. See, when you have all these government programs and when you have all these government benefit programs, it's easy to listen to grifters and pastors because your food stamps is on time. Your Section 8 is right. You got DEI, you got jobs. But now with all these layoffs, 300,000 plus, because a lot of these Black women work in these government administrative functions and whatever else, now that money ain't flowing like it used to be. You see? And needs drive behavior. It's very hard to sit around listening to bullshit when you're worried about your rent or your mortgage, or you don't get that discount on Section 8. Now, women are masters of survival. So when you cut all these government programs and all this grifting stuff, or all these handouts and all this pedestalizing of women because of who the political climate has changed. I mean, look, you don't even see any of this woke stuff anymore. All that tranny stuff. Nobody talks about that stuff anymore. That stuff has went underground. Well, not underground all the way. I saw some brothers with some red dress down there and whatever, doing whatever parade. But now it's difficult now to just sit around listening to dirty D preachers and panda bears. It's expensive out here. Inflation is a bitch. I don't even think Jerome Powell is going to cut the interest rates in September. Right now, the Fed is worried about inflation. So you got to worry about the economy. It's not as simple as it used to be. You know what I mean? But again, this is the new plantation. And I tell you this, the mindset, the mentality of these panda bears is like, they have a limited, panda bears are most powerful in good economies and when the Democrats are in power. Because hardships create survival. Like, let's give you an example. We're going to get into Umar more, but he's been crashing out lately. Really crashing out, man. And guess me, I don't want to see anybody do bad. But I just want to talk about how he's created this narrative for the Black male in America that is just completely disturbing. And now he's in this state. When I keep seeing these videos, let's get this off. I don't know what's going on with Umar. Because right now the money ain't working. The money ain't coming in.
Stop asking me why I'm not married. You know why I'm not married. Because it's hard to find two queens who will live for the people, who will struggle for the people, who will die for the people, who will raise my children to continue to live for the people after I'm gone. I need queens who work for the people. Y'all beautiful, y'all intelligent, y'all educated, but y'all don't work for the people. Many of you are YouTubians. I'm not marrying no damn YouTubian because all you want to do is sit on YouTube. I'm not marrying no sister who want to take pictures of herself all day. Revolutionary brothers, do not marry one of these sisters. All they do is take pictures of themselves all day like they still 12 years old. That is not going to be a good wife. She's not going to do nothing. She's not going to do nothing. She's not going to build. She's not going to organize. She's not going to be no secretary. She's not going to raise no kids. All she want to do is take pictures of herself and post it on YouTube. Don't marry one of them. Do not marry one of them queens. They gorgeous, but every time I look at your page, a new picture, a new picture, a new picture, a new picture, a new picture. God damn. Can you start an after-school club for the girls? Can you start an African Girl Scout program, a mentorship program, a study group? Can you do something for the teenage mothers? Can you do something besides take pictures of yourself all day long? I'm not attacking you. I love you, sisters. I love you. You're developmentally stunted. That's all. And it's okay. You didn't get the attention you should have got as a child, so you're trying to get it in your 40s. It's okay. You're beautiful. It's okay. But sooner or later, you got to put that camera down and come out into the community and work for the people.
Oh, my God.
A new picture, a new picture, a new picture.
Why you not married, Funky Ho? That's the question on this Monday. Why you not married on a Monday?
Umar is a funny dude, man. That dude is funny as hell, dude. I mean, like he's just crashing out, man. Like, you can't make this shit up, man. Imagine how many years ago it was rolling black men under the bus. Remember when he talked about this snow bunny thing, right? This is how the race, the contradiction of these race hustlers, and we have an epidemic of these guys making profit on validating delusion. Like, validating delusion for profit is huge in the black community. It is crazy how they get down. I mean, there's a whole host of them. They're like pimps, just lying to women for money. It's crazy. And Umar is probably, I don't know who's worse. Umar or Metaphor or Derek Jackson, or Boyce has chilled out lately. So I'll leave Boyce alone. Moise has chilled out. He went back into talking about money, which he should have stayed with in the first place. Before he got into the relationship stuff, but it's like, because we have a matriarchal culture in that community where everything is ran on feelings, you don't even have like Derek Jackson is going to have a long shelf life. Derek Jackson, because the women, they just listen to, Derek Jackson. Derek Jackson almost 4-point-something million subscribers on his Facebook page because they're sexually aroused by Derek Jackson. So he has a longer, he can get away with things Umar can't get away with. Plus, he ain't trying to build no schools. So Derek Jackson is probably the best sustaining panda bear of them all, because he can get away with some physical characteristics that keeps the ladies coming back for more. So having a man of their dreams lie to them is like porn to them, like porn. So they love it. They love listening to Derek Jackson. It's like watching. It's really like going to the hub. He's like their OnlyFans. So they're gonna keep giving him money. You see what I'm saying? They're going to keep giving Derek money. Umar and them got to be careful what they say. You can't, they don't have the physical characteristics of a Derek Jackson. And you can always tell by these panda bears, they're inconsistent when they're trying to control. Like, Umar will try some stuff like this, right? Right? Remember when he went after Shannon Sharp? And I came back at them with selective memory, right? Right? We've seen black women do stuff to black men. It ain't just a black or white thing. It's not a race thing. What's the white guy, the baseball player, Trevor Bauer? Trevor Bauer went through some of the same bullshit. So it's a modern woman type thing. Not all. It's a modern woman type thing, and a woman with bad character type thing. It has nothing to do with black or white. It has to do with race. They'll try and get you. Look at Travis Rudolph, or whatever his name is. That chick ain't never got no accountability. Somebody lost their life. What did Omar really come hard in the paint? going after this woman for what she tried to do to this man. Somebody died. Look at Mike Tyson. All these situations. A lot of these pro-black people get selective memory because, again, it doesn't make any money to be telling the truth because their fan base and their customer base, relies on this. You know what I mean? And that's why I wanted to talk about today how he is falling from power. And you got to be careful with these sisters, man. Remember Trill, the trainer? He broke rank with the sisters. And he did the fundamental flaw that takes, the way how, like a panda bear expert like Derek Jackson knows that to maintain profitability as a panda bear, you have to keep feeding black women a drug. There's a strategy in the system. Like, for instance, if I wanted to make money off of black women, all I have to do is sit down here every day, talk about how black men ain't shit, make all excuses for every flaw that they have in their life, blame everything on the system and racism, lie to them about their outcomes and their reality, gaslight them on their value, make them believe that every problem that exists in the black community has to do with the failure of black men. That's all I have to do. That's all I have to do. And I think a lot of that, what Umar was pushing, everything that happened in that community, he blamed it on black men. So the women just had no agency and no choices. Even though with people, feminism has been going on for a long time, women have free choice. And it's not just black men and black women. It's black men and black women that are empowered by corporate sponsored feminism and the government. So this is three modes on their side: corporate sponsored feminism and the government and black men. And obviously the politics of that, which is how do you get to control of a community? It's simple. You weaken the men. You make the men only dangerous to each other. That's how you take complete control of the community. You weaken the men. You make the men beta as possible, son husband type guy. They're only vicious and violent, mostly to each other. They're not going to challenge the women. If the women say, you vote this way, the men are going to follow along and vote the same way. They're not going to, because it's a matriarchal system. Look at what Barack Obama, how he talked to black men. He started calling black men misogynist, so you have a problem with a strong woman. You ain't black if you don't vote this way. Look at the shame and look at they come at black men. They come at black men like we're like some bitches. We don't have agency. A lot of guys, again, there's some of the guys in the community, especially some of these married old boomers and whatever, they're afraid of the women in their lives. Some Gen X dudes, they're afraid. If you vote independently, oh, you ain't black no more. You ain't black no more. If you are a free, independent thinker, all of a sudden, oh, you're not black anymore. Not that we have different values as individuals. Like, I deal with people who we share the same values. Skin color, what? What about our values? What if our values are different? What about if you were extreme right-wing or extreme left-wing person and you want some weird shit? Why do we, because we're black, we have the same values? We don't have the same values. We're different. But the hustle is real. And you know, now people are seeing that a lot of these guys, they really make a lot of money off of black victimhood, making people believe that you're a victim of everything. There's no profit in you not being a victim. There's no profit in you not being a victim. You can still believe that racism exists and still not operate as a victim. You can be self-empowered. You know, you said peaceful. I think that many cases regarding people like Umar and Derrick Jones, we need to stop calling them simps and panda bears. They're enabled predators that will always get a pass. I totally agree. I think, and I'm going to go into the era of scammers. They're scammers and hustlers. You know, I mean, like, the quickest way to know for anybody is what are the outcome that you're getting in life. Imagine if you're listening to somebody over and over again, what you see with so many of the Black women. They're listening to the same people over and over again. And at the end of all this emotional feelings, you have no outcome. You have no husband. You have no generational wealth. You have no support system with a strong man in your corner. You have nothing. And you think that after everybody watched January 6th, you would understand how fragile democracy is, how fragile a society is by watching January 6th, how fragile your community is when you don't have strong men. Just like this, your community can be overpowered. How long do you think it would take to take out some thugs, undisciplined men, by any organized militia? How long do you think it would take? Without a community of strong men, women and children are always vulnerable. Any community that's empowered by the state or the government, it's always vulnerable for takeover. And that's the problem that you see with the mindset and the mentality of many of them, because they don't even understand that feminism exists because men empower feminism, especially the wealthy men who understand that women do 80% of the spending. But for the Black community, weakening the men has more to do with votes. It's all about votes. And they don't care about, see, a lot of Black women will get on and think that they care about Black women's abortion rights. Man, if you really, they don't care if Black women go to Planned Parenthood 10 times a day. Black women always put themselves in the category with other women. They don't care about, if they can make abortion law that excludes Black women, where give Black women all the freedom to go to Planned Parenthood, they would do it. But Black women think that, oh, we're like everybody else, because they align themselves with white liberal women. Really, these abortion laws and changes in laws really is to get white liberal women to make more babies. They just have to include the Black women in there because this is America. They don't care about you going to Planned Parenthood. What makes you think they care about you doing it? They don't care about you. I mean, they care about your vote. They care about you using your community as a social experiment. Yeah, go ahead. Let's try and turn all the young Black boys into girls. Huh? How about that? We turn all the young Black boys into girls. We attack manhood, so a lot of white liberals use the Black community as like a test subject, tests, you know, but really most of them are just rebelling against their dad, you know, and they get their Black friend. You know, a lot of white liberals are just mad of their dad, and they use Black people as, hey, my Black friend over there, look. But then they'll make excuses for every type of debaucherous, mediocre activity that you do in your life. Well, it's because of racism that you're lazy. Now, you know, like they'll make excuses for you. That's what a lot of white liberals do to Black people, make excuses for us about why you're not able to do the things you would do regardless of race. And that's what black people will take it hook, line, and sinker. So when you have a community that's matriarchal in nature, it's very easy to get guys like this to come in and get that money. And, that's why they love them so much. So I agree to a certain extent. Yeah. Yeah. But Umar has milked it to a point, though. At least Derek Jackson is selling the black women some prawn. Ace Metaphor and those guys, they're just regular scammers as usual, lying to him. Like, a woman should know. If your objective is to have a solid foundation of a relationship, and you've been listening to these panda bears for years and you've got no outcome at all, maybe it's time to try something different. But nope, they won't. So let's move right along. I saw this video. Oh no, please, I don't want to hear that. Put my new plantation up there. Because that's really what comes down to black men. Is this new plantation that Umar them tried to perpetrate. He said Scam Newton done got cut. Hey guys, make sure you hit the like button, man. If you guys support the channel, hit the like button, support the channel. Let's keep the content going. We're going to get into this conversation about the new plantation. And what I see is an orchestrated, organized attack on the black male self-esteem, on the black male agency, on black male freedom. They literally treat the black American man like a plantation slave. Literally. They want to control everything from your money to your sack. They want to control everything from your money to your sack. And a lot of that has to do with getting you to accept mediocrity. They want to turn the black American man into the ultimate scrap sexual. They lie to you about stats and data when we know that the majority of black men don't have kids. We have about, 54, 56% of them single with no kids. About 34% of them that are married. So there's only a small percentage of black men in the community that's really causes the problems. But if you let them tell the story, if you look at the income gap, black men make more money than black women. That's why I'm happy with Medium Man. Make these stats out. They make it seem like the women in that community are just outperforming the men. They're like, black men's income is like, a few thousand, like 56,000, whatever, dollars or whatever. You go to blackdemographics.com. The women are not outperforming the men. There's no lies. Per percentage, they're the most enrolled. Per percentage, they own more houses. 33% versus 11%. But there's so many lies that are perpetrated against a group of men. And most of this is because of this mechanism of controlling men and destroying their self-esteem. They want you to feel less valuable. And that's why I create this channel, is really to expose the reality of what your options are as a man. You have a lot of options as a man, but you live in a community that beats down on your masculinity, punches down on your masculinity. And the women are trying, especially the single moms, are trying to kidnap the young men, restrict their ability to have free choice, restrict their ability to make demands or standards, restrict their ability to practice relationship capitalism. I'm a big supporter of relationship capitalism. Let those who compete will be chosen. That's what I support. I don't believe that relationships are not a welfare program. We don't give relationship handouts. Relationships is not a welfare program. The woman who compete will be chosen. That's my philosophy and that's my mentality in relationships. Because it's your ass that had to live with that woman. So I'm a big supporter of relationship capitalism. Period. And I don't think any man should shop anywhere or take his relationship value to any woman of any race that does not respect him, does not value him. You shouldn't do it unless you just hate yourself. So that's my perspective on relationships. But as a collective, they try to control the freedoms of Black. But like I said, they don't do it to the women. They only do it to the men. And that's why I even came up with all these posters about, why I think for the young men, I have said to them, study the habits and behaviors of like someone like an Abraham Traore of Burkina Faso, somebody that has real masculine leadership and qualities. Because most of the men you see here, especially in the American realm, are a bunch of bitch-led men or guys who see the world through the lenses of the feminine. So you're not going to get good leadership. It's crazy. He said, it's amazing that Umar Jr. they can fool this much people. Yeah, it's crazy. But again, I saw this video. Because right now, Umar, before we go to that, it's crazy, right? We got to get another sample of Umar. Because he's crashing out lately, man. He's been crashing out lately. Yeah. Hold on one second. We got to get us another shot of Umar. Umar be funny, man. I hate to say it, man. Even in his crash outs, he's funny. So I don't know. These are like the last days of Umar. Because he started to offend the Black women. I mean, let's be honest. Like, I don't know where he's at. He's on some island. Maybe he has skipped the country. I mean, you listen to him. I mean, he's losing hope right now. I don't know where he's at.
Stop asking me why I'm not married. You know why I'm not married. Because it's hard to find two queens who will live for the people, who will struggle for the people, who will die for the people, who will raise my children to continue to live for the people after I'm gone. I need queens who work for the people. Y'all beautiful, y'all intelligent, y'all educated, but y'all don't work for the people. Many of you are YouTubians. I'm not marrying no damn YouTubian because all you want to do is sit on YouTube. I'm not marrying no sister who want to take pictures of herself all day. Revolutionary brothers, do not marry one of these sisters. All they do is take pictures of themselves all day like they still 12 years old. That is not going to be a good wife. She's not going to do nothing. She's not going to do nothing. She's not going to build. She's not going to organize. She's not going to be no secretary. She's not going to raise no kids. All she want to do is take pictures of herself and post it on YouTube. Don't marry one of them. Do not marry one of them queens. They gorgeous, but every time I look at your page, a new picture, a new picture, a new picture, a new picture, a new picture. God damn. Can you start an after-school club for the girls? Can you start an African Girl Scout program, a mentorship program, a study group? Can you do something for the teenage mothers? Can you do something besides take pictures of yourself all day long? I'm not attacking you. I love you, sisters. I love you. You're developmentally stunted. That's all. And it's okay. You didn't get the attention you should have got as a child, so you're trying to get it in your 40s. It's okay. You're beautiful. It's okay. But sooner or later, you got to put that camera down and come out into the community and work for the people.
Omar has spoken. So this grift right now, this is the last leg. He looked like he skipped the country. Hey, guys, hit the like button. We have 37 watching. You'll only have 14 likes. 37 watching, 14 likes. Support the channel. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Support the channel so the show continue to go on. 42 people watching, 14 likes, 15 likes. Let's get the likes up, guys. And if you want to support the channel, you can with the Cash App or the Super Chat. We're going to keep independent content going. I'm not a member of any of these, whatever you call them, spheres of anything. I'm just an independent content creator. Support the channel, keep the channel going. And we're going to get into get deeper into the content. Umar has spoken. Let's move on. So obviously he's crashing out nowadays. Some of the stuff he's been saying with black women is quite derogatory. Talking about hygienes with their whatever, the woman that he's been sleeping with. I mean, it's some messed up stuff. You know what I mean? And you got to be careful. Yeah, you could run into some serious problems out here. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's not it. Anyhow, let's move on. But I saw this. Let me share screen real quick. This brother, let me give credit to his channel. Derek J Speaks. Salute to this brother for bringing this content. But one of the issues, he has a school actually in the environment where I'm at. And it's gonna really break down a lot of the miscommunication and misinformation that's been going on in terms with Umar and his school in the city of Wilmington. It's in that structure of the city of Wilmington. And the misinformation that's put out here on the internet. But let's continue on. Let's hear what this brother has to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Prince of Pan-Africanism is a liar. The Prince of Pan-Africanism is a liar. The Prince of Pan-Africanism is a liar and a grifter.
In the last video on Dr. Umar, we saw him put out a claim that the city of Wilmington, Delaware did him wrong. Straight up dirty. Well, the city of Wilmington has responded. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start here. This guy you see on the screen now is from the Basic Black podcast channel on YouTube. And he reached out to the city of Wilmington by email, and he got a response back. So we're going to start with him, and I'm actually going to pause his video, and we're going to switch to someone else, and then we're going to come back to him. But I'll explain what we're doing and why we're doing it, why we're going back and forth, you know, as we go through the video. But let's first start with him.
It is me. It is Reginald Ifatunde Jackson, better known as Reggie with the Basic Black podcast. Hey y'all, I'm actually putting out a really quick, totally could be done better video, but I think for the situation it needs to be put out there now. To everybody who's given money to Dr. Umar Johnson, I strongly advise you stop. In an effort to try to figure out what the situation is, I reached out to the city of Wilmington, Delaware, and I had correspondence with with Daniel T. Walker, who is one of the managers and deals with communications and whatnot. I received the email back from him about an hour ago. And pardon me if I look away from the screen, because I'm actually looking at a different monitor, but I want to read this to you.
Okay, before he reads this, we're going to switch over. Before we get into his response from the city of Wilmington, we're going to look at the email he sent to the city of Wilmington first. Now, I found the screenshot of the email he sent on this other page, which is the Jay Witt podcast. And the first guy sent Jay Witt a copy of the email he sent to the city of Wilmington. So we're going to start, and I know it's confusing, but we're going to start, and I just want to include this portion in there first before you hear what he got in return. So we're going to listen to Jay Witt as he reads this.
Let me make this a little bit bigger for y'all. All right, so Brother Reginald over there at Basic Black, he reached out to the city of Delaware and basically said, Wilmington, Delaware, please forgive me. I hope this message finds you well. I'm reaching out seeking clarification regarding recent claims made by Mr. Johnson. He has alleged that the city has ignored multiple requests concerning an outstanding balance of approximately $20,000 on 2 school campuses. Furthermore, he has publicly stated that the city is attempting to unjustifiably take property from him, characterizing it as a case of discrimination against a Black property owner.
And I'm going to pause it right there. But as you see in his letter, he says Mr. Johnson. So that's all they needed to identify with Mr. Johnson they were talking about. That's all.
So what you're having is that we have a lot of delinquent fees that needs to be paid towards this project, towards the school. There's taxes that need to be paid. There's all kinds of things that need to be paid. You're building a building, there's permit fees, there's taxes, there's upkeep and maintenance. The building is just sitting there. It has to be taken care of. It'll just go into a derelict state. It's expenses, but he's running around all over the world. He's paying for his extension, his living costs. He has women that he's funding on the money that's being given to him by many donors, but he's especially squeezing a lot of money out of Black women, and it's like, what is the money being going to for all these years? I mean, how many years is there? Like 10 plus years we've been working on this project, all these donations over all these years. And it's the same conversation about race and victimhood that's been going on, but where's the money? You see, the money, this is why it's important. We see this in the church too. We see that with the overwhelming percentage of female parishioners in the church, the money is the prosperity gospel, the watered down version of the gospel to accommodate all the single moms and all the women that have really enjoyed the sexual liberation happens in the church. We have so many Pander preachers nowadays that they really don't want strong men in the church because it's very hard to exploit men like me. We're going to ask questions. Oh, shoot, what the hell's going on with all the money here? The women are just happy to hear voices that, he said the white woman. I'm trying to do serious content, man. You can't be making me laugh, man. Like, it's like the church, you know what I mean? Like the money is, he said, the snow bunnies. He probably, if he was, but he spends so much money, man. Oh man. Remember, he is a funny guy though. Remember he made the video about the snow bunny saved his life when he was drowning in the pool? For comedic value, I like this guy. But I mean, man. Anyhow, let's continue on, man. But he's not paying the fees on this building because he's using the money probably for his living expenses. Like crazy, right? Let's continue.
All the information the city of Wilmington needed, and they already know who he's talking about. But let's keep going.
I just like the way he wrote it, man. He wrote it really fun. I love it. Given the seriousness of these claims, I would appreciate any official statement or documentation you can provide that outlines the city's position on this matter, including any previous communications or notices that may have been issued. I doubt his claims are true, but with the constant berating of the city departments on multiple social media platforms is defamatory at minimum. Thank you for your time and assistance in helping bring transparency to the situation. All right, so that's what Brother Reginald Jackson sent to the city of Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay, let's switch back. Now, this is Reginald again from Basic Black Podcast, and he's going to read the email he received back from the city of Wilmington. Now, he did copy and paste the email into the description box of this video. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the screenshot from his description box on the video so you can read along with him. But let's go.
Unfortunately, the statements made by Dr. Umar are simply untrue and inaccurate. City of Wilmington has issued numerous communications concerning the two properties, and the communication from the property owner has been infrequent and scarce. Our goal is to simply ensure that properties come into compliance with existing regulations. This is true of our approach to every property in Wilmington and ensures our buildings are safe and constructed adequately. We have a process to follow. The motion notice he received is another step that we will process. We invite Dr. Umar along with every property owner to communicate with our offices and determine the appropriate next steps of any property that enters in this phase of enforcement. Even this week, our office has contacted Dr. Umar, and I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Y'all got to forgive me. I got to get some. The office has contacted Dr. Umar this week and has, inviting him once again. So he's lying to you, inviting him once again to comply with our regulations and speak with our delinquent accounts team and Department of License and Inspections to determine the path forward.
But we know, right? We know, we all know Dr. Umar is lying. You know, the things don't make sense. And, you know, the thing where, first of all, Dr. Umar uploaded that video, the last video we saw him make. He uploaded the video and then he deleted it. But, you know, people grabbed it before he deleted it. So I think he deleted it because he knew he knew it was stupid to upload that video. So he deleted it. But, you know, once it hits the internet, it's on the internet forever. We all know that. But of course, the city went through the process of all of this, you know, of course they did, you know, because if the city were to screw over one person, they would have a ton of trouble on their hands just off of that one person. Because then it could be so many people coming back saying, oh, they did that to me too. Oh, they did that to me in 2001. Oh, they did that to me in 2010. Oh, they did that to me in 2015. Oh, me too, me too, me too. So they're not gonna take that chance. They're not gonna take that chance. All right, the city is not going to take that chance like that. So of course, Dr. Umar knew all of this was happening before. He even told y'all in that video he knew since May. I'm sorry, not May, excuse me. I'm talking about since April. That's even worse. He knew about those, the back charges of the, what was it called? Vacant property registration fee since April. And he tried to call him, tried to email him, and Dr. Umar says that they never responded. But yet, he ain't go up there. It wasn't important enough for him to walk up to the building. he could travel to Africa. But Wilmington City Hall is out of the question. Of course, Dr. Umar was lying. But let's get back into this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Prince of Pan-Africanism is a liar. The Prince of Pan-Africanism is a liar. The Prince of Pan-Africanism is a liar and a grifter. And if you are giving money to Dr. Umar, he is unfortunately another one of these paper doctors who are out here grifting. I've reported about this numerous times, and you normally.
I like these type of content. Hey, salute to you, Ryan. I appreciate it. But here's the thing about with people like this, right? You say Dr. Umar is the GOAT, y'all just jealous. The way you reward the GOAT is by giving the GOAT some money. So, Ryan, I want you to demonstrate to us that you're going to donate some money to the GOAT. If you believe in his GOATness, then you should be able to put your money where your mouth is, right? We're going to put some. Let's demonstrate your GOATness with your money. Let's get some donations on the table. The man right now who supported you guys for a long time, he's struggling, and you guys have abandoned him. Right? Let me share the screen. You shouldn't leave the GOAT out here struggling without any payment. This is how you demonstrate how you support people. You support people with your wallet, not with your mouth. Let me put my brother Umar up here. My brother Umar is struggling, right? If you say Umar is the GOAT, put your money where your mouth is. Put up or shut up. Send this man $1,000, at least minimum. Dig in your pocket and give this man $1,000. Stop saying you support the man if you won't give him no money. Because right now, he don't need your voice. He needs some money. If you ain't putting no money on the table, you don't really love Omar. Put some money on the table. There you go, my brother. Go ahead, Omar.
And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my account.
Wow. Wow. Let's just give me a second. Let me process that.
They had no record of my account.
You lying.
The bank that I've been with since I was a teenager told me
it's over with. We don't even need to talk because I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get mad.
And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my account.
Wow. Wow. Let's just give me a second. Let me process that.
They had no record of my account.
You lying.
The bank that I've been with since I was a teenager told me
it's over with. We don't even need to talk because I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get mad.
And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that.
So my point is this, right? If you see your brother struggling, and you love him so much, put some money on it. Put some money on it. Dig deep in your pocket. The man is calling for help. And the people that have loved him or say you love him have abandoned him. You and all of the SisterHood need to save this man. He has pandered, he has race hustled, and he's rolled black men under the bus for many years on behalf of the SisterHood. And it's unfortunate that you would abandon him in his time of need. It's a sad reality. For us as black men, we've been getting rolled up underneath the bus with these lies. Look at that. I mean, like, I mean, look at this nonsense. You see, this is the type of nonsense we've been dealing with. They've even tried to create a plantation for us. You see, they've even tried to, turn us into droid voters. If you ain't getting no money out of me, why? Because all these years, he's been policing the phallus of black men while having no real, I take that back. He has said some things addressing black women. So the only people that are free in that community is the women. The women can do whatever they want, marry whoever they want, make whatever decisions they want to make. But the only one that have accountability, the only people that he harassed for so many years was the good, honest, hardworking, productive black men. And to the point where he believed that black men should take on the responsibility of irresponsible men. Imagine telling my two sons that I've paid for private school, educated, worked hard to support, that their only future and perspective is to support the needs, the undisciplined behavior. Imagine telling your kids, members of your family, the males in your family, that your job is to support and facilitate the behaviors of undisciplined people in your environment. Your job is to fill the gap of mediocrity after you've bust your ass for so many years to take care and raise your family. And your boys should not seek excellence, or men should not find relationships that best fit them. The black man is supposed to be a scrap sexual. He's supposed to take all types of mediocrity. The black man is supposed to be a bottom feeder. But the women are free. Well, the women are free to do whatever they want. But the black man is supposed to be a bottom feeder. The black men are supposed to take women that are overweight, bad attitude, that take on the facial features of Europeans, that put fake things on their face, like fake lashes and all these other things. They don't want to do certain things for the men. And the men's supposed to just accept that. Every day they're telling the men they're unworthy, even though the statistics do not prove that. You go to Black Demographic, you go to Pew Research, you go to any of these sites, and the data and the statistics are there. The narrative is still being spun in this country. The media is doing it. But it's worse when it's spilled out of the mouths of panda bears and black women. If you listen to the media, they would think that the black men are just derelicts, degenerates, making babies everywhere. They're making less money than the black women. There are no eligible black men out here. They're all in jail or alphabet. But when you go to the Pew Research, when you go to Black Demographics, this is why I appreciate Media Men. Media Man comes with the stats and the facts. All of these things have been statistically disproven. But still the same narrative is being spun by these individuals in the black community. These freaking individuals right here. Destroying the image of black men. Validating delusion for profit. This is what they've been doing. This is what goes in the black community. Every day, these gentlemen here are validating delusion, beating down, telling lies about black men, making up bullshit, validating delusion, telling women that they're perfect and don't need to do any work. Every day you have guys like me cracking the whip for Black men, that you have to be better. You have to take care of your health, your wealth, your finances. You have to attain marketable skills. Nowadays, these marketable skills have to be able to adjust for inflation, and especially with AI. So every day we're pushing Black men to be better. Even myself as a 50-year-old guy, I'm already retired. So we keep challenging men to be better. They're not challenging the women to be better. If you look at the improvements that's happened with the Black males over the years, it's huge. It's getting better. Guys like Kevin Samuels, guys even in the manosphere that they hate so much, have been digging to these guys, the real Black manosphere and men's content. In fact, they have a conclave next month, where they're going to share ideas, talk about guys leveling up, becoming better, using technology, taking advantage of these digital nomad opportunities, getting into the AI space, getting into investment, getting into all kinds of things. So we're currently always challenging the Black male to be better, to level up. I even challenge the young Black men, especially if you're not part of the dating and relationship DNA of that community, get the hell up out of there. If you're a squared away Black man that talks like me, that talks English, that's educated, that's intelligent, and you're dating women that are attracted to an image of a man in the culture with certain swagger or whatever, you have no business dating in that community. You're not their dating and relationship DNA. Because if they value a certain image of thugs or a certain image of guys with a certain edge, what are you doing dating in a community when you're not those women's type? That's not your problem. Your problem in your business is to practice relationship capitalism. That's why I came up with that term, relationship capitalism. I don't believe in people just choosing people because they're Black or white or purple or green. You have to live with that woman. And if you pick the wrong woman because of so-called race loyalty, even though I have a preference for Black women, I'm going to pick the best woman possible, regardless of race. So, because I believe in relationship capitalism, you have to live with that woman. Every day you come home, you have to be in the house with that woman. And if she's not adding value to your life, regardless of what race she is, your life is going to be stink. Your health is probably going to go bad. Your life is going to be shortened. You're going to enjoy no peace or any prosperity in your life. If you pick a woman just purely based on race, even though I have a preference for Black women, you're going to end up in a situation where you don't always pick the best option. So that may be my preference, but I'm going to pick the best qualified person for the job. It's just the way it is. It ain't going to be, it's just the way it's going to be, because I'm going to have to live with that bullshit. And again, these guys don't care about lying to women or about their outcome. Because if they don't get the outcome that they want, you can always turn it around and say, well, the men, they suck. You can always say the men suck. You can always blame it on the men. You see, you can always blame it on the men. You can always say the men suck, because it doesn't matter. There's no accountability in our community. It's a matriarchal culture. So I can go up and down about the false statistics. I mean, I use my platform to try and counter this false statistics they have about Black American men. And no matter how much you put it out in the environment, they just watch one TikTok video and next thing they're rolling the brothers under the bus. You know, and like I said before, these guys don't have selective outrage, selective memory. And it's a terrible situation in 2025 that we live in this environment. And now we have the new plantation, that I call it, the new plantation. What is it? Psychological warfare. It's psychological warfare on the Black American man. It's psychological warfare. But they don't use that on the women. They tell women, live your best life. So only the women are free in that community. In fact, they go even as far as to validate, because obviously there's a profit motive in validating women's choices and women's experience. But, you know, it is what it is. And it's matriarchal all the way through. So let's continue on. But if you really think about it, it's really like a real plantation experience for the Black American man. From everything from their voting to their phallus. Imagine you telling a grown-ass man where can he put his phallus. Well, that's what they want us to be anyhow, scrap sexuals. They really want Black men to be scrap sexuals. I mean, because to be honest, what are they looking for? Guys to come and get the remnants of what thugs and losers and mediocre men have enjoyed sexually. And what are you getting? You're getting the leftovers. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I admit, as a 50-year-old guy, you're going to be a scrap sexual because your dating pool is big and wide, but the choices you have to make is difficult. You go younger, women want to have kids. You get older, you're dealing with arrested development and stunted mental growth, because a lot of the older women now are leading with their sexy because of social media. These older women out here think that they're the 25-year-old version of themselves. These women out here be leading with their sexy, man. I'll be like, yo, this box, I mean, they want you to be excited over some, I ain't gonna say it, man. Some vintage. The old women want you to be excited over some vintage box. And they got all kinds of things going on. They got these waist tightening things that cover up the stretch mark and squeeze that belly in. Like they wear this, you see them girdle type things they wear around their waist? You know, and like, women got all kinds of devices to make themselves look younger and fitter, and it's sorcery. It's sorcery. Women are practicing sorcery nowadays. Because me, I look like what I look like. You know what I mean? It's crazy. He said, found you yesterday. So 33 single, no kids, retired military. I think I'm ready to leave the plantation. Yeah, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they want us to be scrap sexuals, man. I'm like, yo, it's crazy. But this is the problem with the community. You know, like, it's like they got all these rules and requirements and standards for the men. They want to keep the men hooked on a certain type of women. But women ain't trying to be better for the men, but they want the men to always be better for them. And the women can just deliver mediocrity to the table every day. And Umar them pushing this stuff. There. Like, yo, what the hell? Like, it's a one-sided situation. They want guys digging out the trash can. It's bullshit.
Don't get the press and pub that it deserves, but as a service, I'm gonna ask everybody who's listening to the Basic Black podcast, and who's listening on this Instagram video, and who's listening on this YouTube video, who's listening regardless of where the platform states, follow, like, and subscribe. I mean, I'm joking with the headscarf and whatnot, but we really have to address how we're looking at grifters in our community. No one is immune. And there are others who have claimed to build projects and museums and whatnot that aren't really too far behind Dr. Johnson. For anybody saying that this is BS and whatnot, I'm gonna try to turn my camera around. Probably can't see it well, But that is the email that I'm reading from, and I'll be more than happy to provide it, and I'll put it in the link in this video. So everybody, beware who you give your money to, because grifters are always going to be here, and especially ones that call themselves doctors and they're not. The FMD, MG, Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy is only being mismanaged and ran incorrectly by Dr. Umar Johnson. So if you want to go and have a parade, or you want to go and march on the city for this brother, you're really doing a disservice to yourself, because it's in black and white. And then they provide me a timeline also of how they tried to contact him, going back to October of 2024, January 1st, 2025, deadline to request a waiver. He never requested a waiver. April 2025, property owner submitted 501c3 documentation and photos, but did not submit a formal waiver application. Speaking of an active permit, and it was in revocation. That was April 2025. August 2025, multiple follow-up attempts from the finance department. August 5th, due to continued non-payment and non-compliance, an auction notice was issued in accordance with City Code 34-38B as in Bravo, which allows for the service posting when other delivery methods are not completed. Notices were posted on each property by the entrance by the sheriff's department. And people, if you don't know, when they post those, they take pictures.
And I knew that putting it on his doors was the last resort. That's always the last resort. Putting it on the doors of the property. That means they made attempts to give him this notice beforehand, and they just couldn't catch up with him to give him the notice. You know, it's just like when something is missing. What is it? When you want to serve somebody, I think that's how it works. When you want to serve somebody and you can't find them, can't find an address after multiple attempts of finding, you can just put it in the newspaper. If they don't see it, I mean, that's the last step. You still can get to sue them, even if they don't see that newspaper. Like, even if he didn't see the notices on his door, even if he didn't see the notices on his door, even if he didn't see the notices on his door,
Yeah, I think
they'd
this is
still be able to take his property.
I think this is a running situation. Because when I look behind where he's at, I see coconut trees and stuff in the location that he's currently at. You know, this is an IRS situation. I mean, obviously, this is a local tax situation with the state and the finance department. And also, this is probably going to be a federal problem as well. When you start talking about frozen accounts and things of that nature, you know, it's gotten to a serious level, and to the point where his accounts are frozen when he's asking people for money. And I think the SisterHood maybe should donate some money to the brother, because, again, he's been active and he's been pretty aggressive in trying to defend their honor. Defend their honor. So it is what it is, man. And let's continue on. Salute to this brother for this content.
Dr. Johnson, you're a liar, brother. You're a liar. And you should stop trying to grift people. And I'm going to continue to expose grifters, just like we have continued to do here. If you are a fake therapist, if you are a doctor doing practices that you're not licensed for, we're coming for you. The public will come for you, and I am too. So, Dr. Umar, pay your bills, brother. Pay your bills. Pay.
See, the problem with this is this, okay? Remember Dr. Cheyenne Bryan, right? Remember this chick here, right? Remember her. She was the last grifter in the Black community, right? Only thing you need to do to be a grifter or successful grifter in the Black community is make constant excuses for the women, praise the women, talk about how beautiful and how powerful they are, how strong they are, and talk about how the men are not measuring up and men ain't ish. And talk about how successful the women are and how such failures the men are. If I was to create a channel right now and I wanted to make money off the Black women in the Black community, it's very easy. It's very easy to, I mean, obviously I burn in hell. My soul couldn't do it. I couldn't survive a day as a liar and grifter. I couldn't sleep at night. But these guys don't care about sleeping at night. She doesn't care. If you look at her websites, all she's doing is selling bullshit courses. But she came with that. She's 42 years old. 35 is geriatric pregnancy. Had all this time in her life to pick a man. Hasn't gotten married. Still talking like she's 25 or 22. The Black community loves people like this. All you have to do is say that Black men ain't ish or Black men ain't measuring up and talk about how the women are performing, the men are not performing. When the Pew Research census, Black demographics say otherwise. That's all you have to do is create this false narrative. They love praise. They love praise. They love it. It is so easy to pimp the American Black woman. The American Black woman is so easy to pimp. Just pimp them. They're so easy to pimp. I make male-centered content. I can't come over here and bullshit the guys. They'll call me all kinds of names. Like, yo, peaceful life. You full of, what? It's harder to make male-centered content. If I make a channel tomorrow, pandering to women, I would have thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers. Because you already know what they want to hear. They don't care about truth. Truth is what makes them feel good. Look at even a guy like Kevin Samuels. He told them the truth and they celebrated his death. Sister Shahrazad Ali told them the truth. They hated her. They don't care about truth. They care about what you say that makes them feel good. And Black men ain't shit is what makes them feel good. Because it justifies the unregulated sexual marketplace where they have sex with low quality men that their fathers wouldn't approve of. So they can go have sex with all kinds of men that are not been vetted by men. And then they can cast dispersion upon all Black men when the majority of Black men don't even have kids. It makes them feel good. And they don't have to be accountable for their poor choices in men. Because now they can shame Black men as a collective. And the panda bears come in there, oh, yeah, the man ain't this, or men should be paying. One dude wasn't Yada, the worst. He's talking about, because in the reality, if you listen to the conversation, especially nowadays, you listen to the women, money has become their God. Money is their God. In 2025, if you listen to the narrative in the conversation, not all women, money is their God in 2025. That's all they talk about is money. Most of them. And what men should be making, what men should be doing for them. If you ever ask them, you want to see when the conversation, talk about what men want, what men need, how to serve a man in a relationship. You want to hit the brakes right there. Talk about reciprocation and what men should receive or expect from relationships. you will hit the brakes so hard, be like, "Arr!" They don't have conversations about what men want. I mean, it's a gynocentric environment in this country. If you try to have a conversation, well, what should women be doing to keep a man? Maybe it's like you threw a monkey wrench in the whole thought process. Because there's only one situation, one narrative, that goes out, And again, Umar supported this narrative. He supported this narrative. He came at Shannon Sharp, not mentioning this. You see? He tried to make you believe that only black men that mess with white women have had problems. But it's part of the grift. When we can go from a historical perspective, it just don't make no sense. So it is what it is, man. We got 28 likes. I'm gonna start doing these live streams in subscriber only mode. But this is how they treat black men in the community. Again, and I think ultimately what this live is really about is about for the young men. You have to escape this plantation and protect your masculinity and protect your resources. Because if you stay in this environment, the young black men, they will destroy your self-esteem. They will completely destroy your self-esteem. You've got a lot of Gen X Sims. You got a lot of Boomer Sims that will keep you in this environment accepting mediocrity because they don't want to see you live free. They want you to be scrap sexuals, clean up men, and to be in an environment of disrespect because they accept disrespect every day. The average black men, especially the Gen X and Boomer men, tolerate disrespect at such a high level in that community. And if you listen to the advice of those guys, why would they want you to get anything better? They don't want you to do better and think better and say, you know what? Because they've gotten used to mediocrity and accepting abuse and disrespect. It's in the women. Look at the women talk. You look at these panels. Look at how they address men, period. It is in such a condescending, disrespectful tone. It's the mentality and the mindset of a hyena culture. They don't talk about men with any reverence or any respect. If anything, they're the arm of white supremacy, especially the ones putting out false statistics about black men. If you know in 2025, you can just go to Google. You can go to Google and go to any of these sites, Pew Research, Google, anything, and look at the income charts, look at the statistics and everything. It'll tell you everything you need to know. But yet in 2025, you still have them making up lies about the American black man. And it's really in a mission, in my opinion, to suppress their freedom. But it's men like me who want to liberate them from the plantation that they were born into in 2025. If you think you're not valuable, then you will be trapped in mental slavery and you will not exercise your freedom. And then you become a slave for a community that doesn't respect or value manhood or masculinity. They will offer you nothing for your sacrifice. It's like you don't have the right for your own self-preservation and to live the best life you can on this earth. I see it all the time with the son husband situation in the community. Hijacking masculinity, kidnapping boys. It happens all the time. I've seen it. And that's why you see a lot of crime in the community. Yeah. Yeah. They're boys. Emasculate the boys to a point where they're 100% under control. Use them as their husbands and boyfriend. That's what happens in the Black community. We have a son-husband epidemic that's been created by the American Black woman. Not all of them, because she cannot get along with a masculine man. She is taking him hostage. If Umar was really a freedom fighter for the Black American man, he would be addressing the son-husband situation on a serious level, not grifting and extracting resources. Now I have to encourage these young men to escape the plantation. I don't care if you have to sign up for the Air Force. First of all, many of these communities, not all, are dangerous. You're unsafe. If you are a squared away, non-criminal minded young Black American men, the community is a dangerous place for you if you live in one of these inner city communities. I don't care if you have to join the Air Force for 4 years. Get the hell away from there. Go see the world and establish your life. Embrace capitalism. Learn how to invest your money. Subscribe to channels like this. Empower yourself. Stop dating women who don't share the same dating and relationship DNA as you. If you're a squared away young Black man in that community today that don't believe in crashing out, that believes in education, taking care of yourself, learning marketable skills, obeying the law, get the hell out of that community. I don't care if you have to join the Air Force, go to college somewhere, go to school somewhere, trade school somewhere. Get away and distance yourself from that mindset and mentality. You may just be deleted just on some jealousy stuff. Distance yourself from that culture that tends to talk to you and want to treat you as a slave, because all they want to do is extract your vote, turn you into a husband for your mama, or have you getting into relationship with undisciplined women who don't raise not to be wives and not to respect men. That's all they're going to do to you. They're going to clip your balls and make you a slave for a community that don't even know what a man is nowadays. And there will be no reciprocation. So if you can get to the military in terms of get yourself you can go somewhere like the Air Force, the Navy, get out of that community. I'm not saying that is the solution, but that is an option to get quickly out of there, because that's the plan they have for you. Stop dating these women that are not your dating and relationship DNA, period. Let me close some of these screens. There we go. Let me shut some of that stuff down to keep there we go. That's better. Yeah. Brother Ray. Well, I'm sorry. 1 second. Said me going into the Army for 7 years when I was 20 was the best decision. Yeah, you got to get away from these people, man. Because you got to reprogram your mind. Again, the young Black man was raised to go take care of be his mama's husband. Take on the financial responsibilities and the burdens that a grown-ass man should be taking on. That's what they do to the young Black men. They imprison them at a young age. Most of the time, they have used the system to remove his daddy or use the system to enable themselves to pick poor quality men to be his daddy. Either way, they use the system. Either they use the system to remove his daddy, or they use the system to pick quality men. Oh no, just to pick low quality men to be his daddy, because they could just use the system as a backup. So they could just pick whatever's poor. Either way, he's got to get up out of there, you know. Because that's the problem we have, especially like trying to, you see some young men, right? I've seen young men pretend to be some kind of thug that were raised in middle-class situations, but because of the way the culture is, they pretend to be some type of thug out dude just so they can be accepted by the women of that culture. Because remember, MC Light was coming out in the 90s, they want a roughneck, you know, Beyonce, if you're status, whatever, status scene hood. So now the young man, that's a squared away young man, think he has to behave and look like a thug to get the attention of women, when his dad works at Bowen and his mom is a nurse. The suburban fake thug is an epidemic in the Black community. In some Black communities, some communities, period. Even suburban Black kids think that they have to look and behave like a thug to attract women. That's a disease of culture that we see, you know, and they think men like me are the problem, when I'm just a liberator, liberating men from the plantation or the desires of the plantation to enslave the young Black men. If you don't vote a certain way, mama ain't happy with you. The beta male simps that surround you, the Gen X, even the boomers who are scared of the racist mountain hillbillies coming down to get you. That's all they talk about. The racist hillbillies from the hill are going to come get us. We got to vote for the Democratic Party. I'm not a part of any of these plantations. But they don't realize that a community without strong men is the most vulnerable community, because you cannot raise an army of men with their weapons to go out and defend that community. A community without strong men is very vulnerable, especially nowadays in terms of the economics. And they have a problem with anybody who speaks the truth from neither political plantation, because they want to keep the status quo in that environment, because it's, again, it comes down to the money. It's all about the money. And these guys make a tremendous amount of money off of this environment. Oh, my stream is starting to lag. Anyhow, I'm about to get out of here anyhow. Appreciate you guys watching for today. But these guys make a huge bunch of money, just validating that delusion. You know, they make a fortune off of this shit, you know. And I put that Hellraiser demon in there for a reason. You know, they make a tremendous amount of money doing this. But anyhow, guys, appreciate you guys watching.